Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer, and this evening I'll be reviewing the final instalment of our theme week chosen by our Wednesday night reviewer Rob, which was films from the year of his birth, which was 1970. And my pick for this was The Vampire Lovers. I wrote just a few notes on this. So I'm gonna go through the notes because this is a film I hadn't seen before, and I'll just read through them kind of. So yeah, this is a film it's based on the novel Carmilla, and it's by J. Sheridan LaFanu in 1872. And I did not realise that this is actually part of a trilogy. This is a Hammer production, and I guess the other two are a Hammer production as well. It's called the Karnstein trilogy, which is the main vampire in this film at least. And the other two, so we have The Vampire Lovers, this one, and it's Lust for a Vampire and The Twins of Evil. Now those are two that I have heard of, but like I said, yeah, they are Hammer. Actually, I kind of thinking about them, I've seen the covers and that, and yeah, these are all Hammer productions, but I did not realise that they were a trilogy. Anyway, jumping into this film, so it's directed by Roy Ward Baker, of course, in 1970, and we follow at the start of the film Baron Hartog, who is hunting a vampire who killed his sister, so he wants revenge. He tracks this vampire down, stake through the heart, and beheads her, that we see. And that's that start. And then we jump a few decades forward, and we have there's this big party going on, and we have Peter Cushing. He's in there, and he's General Spilsdorf. And you have these two people that enter the party, and a mother and a daughter. And the daughter ends up staying at the house, and her name is Marcilla. And this is played by Ingrid Pitt, and Marcilla is the main person that we are following here. She becomes friends with the family and friends with the daughter, and the daughter starts to become sick and slowly starts to die over time. Well, basically, she dies in unforeseen circumstances, and so Marcilla moves on. She's with her mother, and they fake a crash and with this other character, a Mr. Morton, and again the daughter stays with his family, but now she's changed her name to Carmilla, and she befriends his daughter quite closely. His daughter is called Emma, and they sort of build up like this close link, and they become quite good friends. Now we learn that Carmilla is a vampire, and she does the same to Emma, Mr. Morton's daughter, as what happened to the General's daughter, but it's a little more complicated. She grows feelings for Emma. It's never explained what these feelings are, whether they're sexual or you don't know. It's not really explained in the film. Whether it is in the novel, I'm not so sure. But anyway, I can't remember how it happens, but there's Emma's governess. Her name is Mademoiselle Peridot, and she finds out somehow. I don't know. I think she gets bitten by Carmilla, and so she helps Carmilla in the feeding of Emma, and she'll do what she can to assist Carmilla. And more and more people start to pick up what's going on. The butler of the house, like, he's out drinking in the village, and the pub landlord tells him of what's this thing, that because he mentions that the daughter is becoming sick, and So he says that in this other household, the general, her daughter was lost, and it's like a similar situation. And could it be like a vampire? And so he's talking with a doctor. He sends the doctor around, and yeah, they start to think that this could be the case. It's a vampire, and the doctor gets knocked off, and then the butler gets knocked off, and basically, yeah, Emma tries to. I'm sorry, Camilla tries to escape and kidnap Emma, and it's actually quite a touching scene where the Mademoiselle Peridot, she's like begging to be taken with her, and you see the pain that she's being left, and then Carmilla goes back to her, and then she realizes that she's not taking her with her; she's going to kill her. And throughout this film, it can be quite hammy and campy hammer films, and this one really is not. It's actually very well written and very well acted. I was quite surprised. I mean, I've grown up a lot of obviously watching being English. Like you always get like different hammer sort of things and general films from the 60s and 70s on the TV and all these vampire things. And this one actually does stand quite apart for me, like with how the acting was. But anyway, um, she Carmilla is going to kidnap Emma, but she is thwarted by Carl. Now, Carl was the guy who was courting the general's daughter at the start, who actually died and passed away. But he's actually, I believe, he's friends with Emma. And while all this is going on, parallel, the general has heard about what's going on, and he's gone to find the Baron and the original Baron Hartog, and they're actually at the original castle where he killed this vampire. And you find out that he actually attacked all the vampire, whether the family links or whatever it was. He went through the graveyard of the people that had died with links to all this, and he was staked through the heart and killing every single one. And there's one grave that he couldn't find, and we learn it's Carmilla. Anyway, so Carl has gone to save Emma, and he does, and he's about to try and dispatch her with throne. He basically throws a knife at her, but she vanishes because they found her grave, and it's like she's being called back to her coffin to sleep or whatever. And obviously they take her, like when they're back, they're all in waiting, and they see her and they take her back. And Peter Cushing kills her, stake through the heart, cuts off her head, and that's the end of the film, basically. There we are. Shit, I really should have said about spoilers. I do apologise. I really should have mentioned that. The one thing that there's this figure on a horse throughout the film that you see during certain bits that are going on, and then you find out like he's a vampire. I couldn't figure out what his link was, like who he was linked to. He's just this stalker. I have no idea, but he didn't interact with anything in the film. It's kind of a strange one. But anyway, like I mentioned, this was quite an elevated film for me, the acting. But this was also like a watershed moment for Hammer when they really went sexual with things. It wasn't quite gratuitous as you see in a lot of Hammer stuff, but there was a lot of buxom, beautiful women in this with scenes of nudity, not over the top, and it's not over the top lust or anything like that, and it's not. It's nudity for nudity's sake, but not over the top like you get in a lot of Hammer. And there's not a lot of violence or fighting in this. What kind of you do get? The gore is like mild, but it's nicely done. There's a couple of decapitations, and they look really good for the time. They look cool. Like I said, when she gets called back to her coffin, she fades away. It looks really good. And when the two daughters being bitten and are slowly dying, they keep having nightmares. and they're really nicely filmed. It's quite simple stuff. It's like you have overlays, and then there's pictures, black and white pictures overlaid on tops, and it's quite different for its time. It's a little unnerving, and they're really well done. Like I said, the whole film is really well done. It's the acting, especially from Mademoiselle Peridot and Carmilla, our main vampire. Ingrid Pitt was she's the star, and she's superb. But these two are really good, and Peter Cushing is very good as well. I mean, I don't want to accuse him of dialing in some of his later films, because he did so many. But like, he's everyone in his film is good. It's like really well acted, and it's kind of quite shocked me. And I will be picking this up, and I definitely do want to watch the other two, which are in this, which again is Lust for Vampire and The Twins Are of Evil. So, like I said at the very start, I highly recommend this film. Um, yeah, if you don't own it or you want to check it out, it's there on YouTube, and it's a pretty good quality. I'm watching it on like the TV, and it looks good. Yeah, it all syncs up well, and the picture's good and the sound's good. But I will be picking the Scream Factory up at some point, and then I'll pick the other two up as well in the trilogy. And there we go, we have a Hammer trilogy. But that's the end of my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you all next week. Good night.